In the year 2020, according to the UNDP index, the prevalence of child forced and early marriages in Nigeria is at 44% and female genital mutilation at 18.2%. However, this number has been on the increase since the protracted crisis due to the armed opposition group in northeast Nigeria started back in the decade.
We are able to reach 9,666 persons with information about gender-based violence and how to prevent gender-based violence.
The high points for me on the Martawa Zoromai project is the fact that we're already seeing transformation in people's minds in communities where we work through the project participants. The end goal of this project is to ensure that we have transformed communities that fight against early forced marriages and female genital mutilation. As it is now, we are seeing more girls go to school and prioritizing education rather than early marriages. And we are seeing parents saying no to female genital mutilation, which translates to a better health for the girl child, where she can thrive and live in a society that is free from gender-based violence.
Ina da yarinya mai shekara 16. Ta shiga 17 za ta gama sakandarenta. Burina daga ta gama aure ne zan mata. Amma da taimakon wannan kungiya da zuwanta sai na gane cewa ahe in nayi mata haka na ci zarafinta. Tunda kuma burinta tana so ta yi karatu. Yanzu haka tana da maturo ta tafi karatun midwifery. Kuma duka na samu wannan ilimin da karuwan a ƙarƙashin wannan kungiya.
Aikin nan ya koya min wani abin da al'ada ce kawai ta ɗora wa mutane ba wani ba. Za ka ji an ce karkai kaza wai kuma al'ada ce, babu addini a ciki, babu komai. Idan ka tsaya za ka yi ta cutar da kanka. Wannan aikin ne ya koya min.
Some girls that were rescued from captivity have benefited from this project by getting skill. Some of them got little startup kits to start up their businesses.
This Martawa Zoromai project was designed to address the issues around early forced marriages and female genital mutilation in northeast Nigeria, basically in communities that have experienced violence extremism.
The project in Yobe, particularly in two very important local governments that borders Niger, Yusufari and Nguru.
The Martawa Zoromai project's overall goal is to enhance survival-centered approach to prevent and respond to GBV in communities that experienced violence extremism. The Martawa Zoromai project has 3 major objectives, which include empowering individuals, strengthening communities, and building networks through 2 main approaches. One is the GBV prevention, and second is GBV advocacy.
Wannan shine aiki kala biyu da nake yi. Sensitization ko mobilization da kuma SAE. Wannan shine kawai aikin da nake yi. Sannan kuma ina yin sa sau 8 ne a wata. Ina yin sensitization guda 5, ina yin SAE guda 3. Idan ka hada ya zama guda 8.
Na karu da shi akan abubuwa da dama. Dangane da iyalina, zamantakewa na da mutane duka ya canzu. A gaskiya a baya a da akwai abubuwan da ni kaina ma ana yi min ban san ana cin zarafina ba.
I'm happy about the social analysis and action approach because we engage with the community through that, not to force them to accept the transformation, but for them to reflect on their own and caution this harmful traditional practice to be able to change. Coming out to report their cases, trusting our community protection committee, trusting our work, because they believe that we are going to handle their cases with respect and confidentiality. So that makes me feel good, and I feel happy about that.
The project is funded by the U.S. Department of State through the Office of the Secretary for Global Women Issues. This project is being implemented by 2 national organizations, Trauma Healing Support Initiative and African Youth for Peace and Development Foundation in Yobe. Both of them are women-led civil society organizations that have been identified to implement the project. CARE works through African Youth and Peace Development Foundation to do GBV advocacy and to build networks, while it works with Trauma Healing Support Initiatives to do GBV prevention in both communities in Guru and Yusufari local government areas of Yobe State.
We were able to reach out to more community members through the Protection Committee, using community sensitization on early and forced marriage and female genital mutilation and other forms of GBV that could be prevalent in the community. AfriDev, through CARE, we're able to train community stakeholders at LGA level on GBV and also the VAP Act. They go back and sensitize their community.
Our relationship with CARE is particularly in respect of this violence against persons prohibition. We interact with them, we collaborate with them, and they support us in the implementation and the drafts bill of the law up to the level of passage at the House of Assembly and assented by the governor.
They also supported in all this retreat to deliberate over these 2 laws that I mentioned, the CPL and VAP. We were able to bring together the religious leaders and the traditional rulers, take them for a retreat to Bauchi, and we also went on a retreat to Kano with the members of the State House of Assembly, all to deliberate on those laws, so that we will have them in the state. Another main activity that CARE supported, and I want to mention it here, is the high-level advocacy that we went to Abuja in order to meet His Excellency one-on-one. They sponsored about 13 to 14 of us, members of the technical committee, some High Court judges, and members of the House of Assembly to Abuja, because it has been difficult for us to get that law assented by His Excellency to our cultural and religious diversity here. But we were lucky, after some few months it was assented.
There is always, at all time, the limit that grant donor-funded initiative could actually do. And so ownership at all levels, from government to citizens, will remain very key, and that's what we try to do. And that's why elements of our work has both a combination of community-level programming and also advocacy in terms of ensuring that there are right initiatives and policies to sustain some of those things.
Na karu da abubuwa da yawa. Kamar da idan muka haifi yara, akwai wani abu da ake cire musu anguriya. Zuwan wannan kungiyar ya wayar mana da kai, ashe wani abu ne ake yi a rufe wanda ba mu san da shi ba. He yanzu muka gane cewa tun daga bayan shekara 2 da wani abu da nake gaya miki, ko a family na aka yi aihuwa aka haifi yarinya, na daina bari a yi mata wannan abun. Duk da ma ni ban haifa ba, kannena da yayuna da yawa sun haihu, wanda nake nuna musu cewa ta gurin wannan abun da ake yi, ashe ta nan ne ake samun cututtuka da dama ba mu sani ba, kamar cutar sanyi, kamar wani tetanus, wannan abin da kin ga wanzame suke amfani da shi, za a yi wa wannan, za a yi wa wannan. Ashe ana cutar mu ne da yaran mu, kuma ba mu sani ba.
Shi kaɗai ne idan ka yi wa mace fyaɗe ko kai rafin ɗinta, shi kaɗai ne GBV. Haka ne fahimtar mu a wannan society namu. Amma bayan zuwan wannan aikin, mutane sun san cewa, wanda da ba su sani ba, sun san auren dole is a part of GBV. Yana ɗaya daga cikin ɓangaren cin zarafi. Sun san auren wuri yana cikin GBV. anguriya ko kuma FGM mu ba mu san shi a kaciyar mata ba anan, amma anguriya kusan abu ɗaya ne da kaciyar mata. Mu nan ba ma kaciyar mata, amma anguriya da ake cirewa daidai yake da kaciyar mata, saboda duk fat ɗin ake taɓawa kuma wani abu ake cirewa. A yau ina da 'ya'ya mata guda 4. Project ɗin nan ya koya min cewa ma 'ya'yana za su yi karatu mai zurfi in ba su damar su, kamar yadda nake ganin ku, madan ki yi haƙuri, kamar yadda nake ganin ku, wanda da bani da wannan tunanin. 'Ya'yana ina so su yi karatu mai zurfi, su amfanar da community, su amfanar da ƙasansu.